and we went up north. Uh, yeah, and yeah, it was a good time away.
Fabulous. Right. So last time we spoke, so obviously we can open this up into a progression now, and if you want to onboard, obviously we can today. We can do that in the same time. So obviously you were doing a travel agency,
I've got a travel agency. Yep.
right? Okay. And talk me through your business model. Is that like office based, virtual based?
Yeah, we've got an office. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Claire. We have. You know what it is? I'm look. You know, my daughter. She's done something. It looks like I've got lipstick on. I don't know how to.
Maybe that was a message before you came on screen, but just bearing in mind I'm also I'm Muslim as well, so
Oh, mashallah.
and so is Shami. Even though I'm a repentant sinner, I'm a great believer that we've got our own journey in regard to, you know what I mean. And
Yeah, yeah. No, of course, of course. How long have you been Muslim, Claire? Or were
I've
you born?
read I've read now about 3 years just over. So
How you finding it?
um I find it good. Yeah, I find it very much in a like soul journey, and it sort of answered the pieces of the jigsaw that I was sort of missing, and everything now is just learning and growing. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, no, of course, of course. Everyone's on their own little journey. Uh, yeah. So sorry, I don't know. It's all right. Basically, yeah. So you know yeah, my travel agent. Basically, what it is, it's we predominantly do Hajj and Umrah, just Hajj and Umrah. You know the pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia. So
All right.
that's the setup. Now, what it is, 20. So how it was. It's we used to take a tour for the big pilgrimage, Hajj, around 200 to 250 people a year. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And what we then used to do is throughout the year we would send people to the small pilgrimage, which is the Umrah. So that was the model, and it was a quite a good thriving business. But COVID killed us because when COVID came, 2019, sorry, 2020, and the whole dynamics changed. And 2020, because of lockdown, we weren't able to sell any packages. Pretty much the same thing in 2021. 2021, around September, October is when it kind of opened. Then, because of, if I remember correctly, there was a different variant that came out and yes, put a stop to that. Then 2022, it was 2022 Ramadan, it fully opened. Does that make sense? So since then, but what happened was 2022 when Hajj was announced back on for the whole of the world, and but agents were taken out. It all went online, so people just go online, book their package, and go, and they're taken care of by delegates in Saudi Arabia. So that was the basically kind of like because Hajj was the biggest sort of like business yeah, portion of the income for the business. But Umrah, because of all the lockdown issues, Umrah was just crazily busy last Hijri year. So we know, you know, the Islamic. So we got to play by sort of like the Islamic calendar year with our business, whereby uh, 10 months of the year it's basically you're running 2 months of the year because Hajj is on online now. 2 months of the year is all preparation for Hajj and people going to Hajj. So those 2 months you're kind of like business very quiet. It's like those 2 months. So slowly. So at the moment we're office. We do have an office, but it's a very we had to downsize. Greatly from where we were in 2020 due to COVID and everything. And we've seen like people's obviously, as you would know, behaviors change now. They do. We were very strong on online as well. Before, prior to that, most of our sales was online. Only reason we never really had a like massive shop front or anything. We'd always have a smaller, medium-sized office, but now it's like literally a box office. The reason being, when it comes to the pilgrimage, especially when it was Hajj. So people at that time we were doing it through agents. Packages were ranging from 4,500 up to £7,000. So when people want to part ways with the money of that amount, they sometimes want to meet you face to face. Does that make sense? So that's when they would come in. And even now, Typically a package with everything going up, if a per family of four were going, it'll amount to about £6,000-7,000 for a 10-day, 12-day trip to Umrah to Saudi Arabia. So hence why we still have a little box office in the scenario of those people who want to come in. But most of my work is done remotely now from home.
Do you have an existing website then?
We do, yeah.
What's your website? Yeah.
www.hunafar.com.
Spell?
HUNAFAA.com.
HUN.
AFAA.
.com. I thought it's one of those, isn't it, when it plays in your head when it's certain.
Yeah, yeah, no, of course.
Let me just have a look. So, okay. So what interested you from, the agency models? Because obviously we've got types of agencies and choices. So what I want to do is I want to explore what you're doing, what you potentially want to do, and what type of agency and choice is best for you. So we can have a look at your models. Right, okay, I'm looking at your website now.
Yeah.
So that will give me some. So do you have somebody looking after this for you at the
Yeah.
moment?
Yeah.
Right.
One of my partner, he's a tech guy, so
Oh,
he
great.
does all the IT stuff.
Fabulous. So you've got all your payments and everything all working and
Yeah.
stuff on that. So, okay. On the agency side,
Mm.
see, we've got types of agencies and choices. So it's whether you're wanting to bolt something on separately, but the beauty, obviously, whether you have agency or whether you just go for thought, that's what I'm looking at, because obviously you've got your existing website, is landlines are ceasing to exist by 2025. So there's going to be a big push on thought. Now, an agency is £49.99 a month plus VAT. So
Yeah.
you can have a virtual, a digital, or a hybrid. For example, I'm a hybrid. So I'm a little bit different than a virtual. So I'll explain the differences on the types. A virtual is very industry specific. So you are either a virtual receptionist, a virtual agent, a call handler, call center, or a call agent, but it will be specific to an industry. So like yours is specific to an industry.
Yeah.
At the moment, your
Yeah.
model for Hajj. So you could do that and be a booking agent for other agents. You could decide to scale your model up even further.
Okay.
And do that. I don't know what your initial idea from seeing the advert to chatting to you initially want to
Yeah.
do. If it's that,
Mm.
or digital is the whole of market, but generic. So it's your, like virtuals and digitals, they're your own business model. It's your own brand, it's your own model. And obviously in the agency, yes, you still get a website. So yes, you get a second website, and yes, you've got a
Yeah.
second stream coming in then, that we sell.
Okay.
Or you've got a hybrid like mine. So I'm the whole of market, meaning I've not narrowed down my market, my
Yeah.
sector, and I'm whole of market. So I'm a reseller. I resell websites, SEO, lead generation,
Okay.
agencies, but I have the VOP system as a call center agent, whether you want to call it a virtual assistant. So I
Okay.
can answer the calls for any business. For example, if we were networking and you said, Claire, I'm really, really busy, but I really could do with a call agent, I could then answer your calls, and vice versa for any type of business out there. You ultimately can do that, and so can your team.
Okay. So.
That's what this VOP system does. Okay, so I'll give you a little demo of it. So you've got that choice whether to have your own business model or not. So the package gives you website, email, CRM system, and VOP. And as I said, landlines have ceased to exist. Now, the beauty of this VOP is that it's flexible, it's scalable, and it's virtual. So
Okay.
in essence, you're like a digital office, but you're in a environment. So your staff could work in an office. That's why I was
Yeah,
asking, are they working in
yeah,
an office? Or they
yeah.
could work at home, or they could work in other countries.
Okay, okay, sure.
So you could have booking agents working on your VOP system, doing their bookings in the system
Yeah.
for your clients and data capturing and managing to speak to everybody. So you can create departments as well. So you could
Okay,
create a booking department, you could create
sure.
a inquiries department. So I'll show you briefly. Let me just share my screen.
Basically, I made the inquiry. It's been a while now, isn't it, Claire? Like maybe 2 months now or so. So I was under the impression it was like a like a call center sort of type of job or something. But you're saying it's a model that I'll have my own website. It's not incorporated with my business, is it? Like the
You
hydro.
can you can incorporate it into your own business. That the beauty is that it can be your own brand. That
Okay,
your own logo, your own brand, and everything. So you just have another website.
okay, sure.
So yes, you're just growing your umbrella of a company basically within the department of it. Um, yes, it's a job that you provide for yourself, but ultimately it's a bolt on to your business. So you would, in a business model perspective, you could use this system as a call agent, a travel
Yeah,
agent,
sure.
receptionist, any type of thing, taxis,
Yeah,
virtual receptionists, chat
yeah,
operators, any type of business like that, you can use a system. Okay, so
sure. Yeah.
um, you imagine. I'm just going to show you this because obviously this is my contact. So obviously I'll just show you this now. We've got a lead form, and that lead form is like, imagine your contact form on your website. That
Mm,
contact form will provide this information if the client fills in that information on the website or through a social media link.
yeah.
So that information comes up here, which would allow your travel agents to ultimately ring the client. So you ring from here, and we're
Mm,
just developing text and WhatsApp messaging, and
mm,
also you can email from here. So we've got email templates that allow you to send an email to somebody. So any company out there, imagine, Shakul, that any company here can program this system to have their own forms, their own emails, specifically set up for their company. So that's what this is. If you imagine the owner's CEO develops this bot and CRM, this is our own.
mm. Yeah.
As an agency or as a company, whether it's a local, a national, or international company, we've got IT developers and programmers behind that can set this up with any person
Mm.
exactly how you want it to be.
Sure, sure.
So this
Understand.
is my model, but it might be very, very different perimeters and metrics and measurements that a business or a client requires. Okay, but we basically can send emails from here, and they're all, they're formatted, so we can pre-designate them. So you could have somebody in a department, in the sales department, literally sending
Yeah.
emails all day and calling people.
So if I didn't want to, if for example, my Hajj and Umrah business, uh, like I think earlier on the conversation I mentioned the business dynamics have changed since COVID and due to what Saudi authorities have done. Uh, if if I wanted to like not use it for my business, this service, how can I scale it and make money from? Does that make sense? Like, so if I don't incorporate it into my business, because with my business, there's a likelihood that we won't be carrying on with the business after February 2024. Does that make sense?
Right,
Uh,
okay. Well,
do-
yeah, okay. You could go with your own model yet again, and we will help you with that. Or you could go with our hybrid model. So
mm,
basically, the virtualagency.org model, which you have seen and been introduced to, okay, all other agencies out there have decided to go with our franchise model. So basically, you would get a website like this.
yeah.
That would be for your area, and it would say virtualagency.org in your area.
Mm,
So we designate you in that area. And obviously you get, it looks like this, but it's
Yeah.
just your information instead of
Mm.
mine. Um, and also it allows you to sell the services like websites, search engines, social media, CRM, telephony, lead generation, and content creation. So as an agency, I resell these services. I do know how to do websites. I do know how to do social media and marketing and all those types of things. So this was a great business model for me to be able to build up a data bank of clients, because the company pays 30% commission for every client that you bring on board as a consultant, but without you having to do all the job.
Okay, sure.
So you could have multiple people working with you and scale your business that way, or you could then have affiliates working with you, or you could recruit other agencies. So you could have
Okay.
people that work with you that you manage, but then they're your little micro agencies. We're
Mm.
just here to support you as another agency, because
Okay.
agencies help each other as a network,
Yeah.
regardless of you your own model or whether you were one of ours. So you would
Yeah.
have basically a business in a box model like this, that we
Mm.
set up your bank account details, that whenever you make a sale, for example, websites, they start at 14.99 plus VAT, which is usually like a 3-page website with a bit of content and stuff for people that are new, or got a budget. We can charge upfront price, but like we've had to, any business, we've had to change shape because a lot of people haven't got the affordability of paying 2, 3, 4 grand out. But
Yeah.
we look after the website, we look after the domain, we do backups, we've got the IT team, the programmers and the developers. So as your
Okay.
agency grows, and say next year you get 50, 100 people as your clients, you will be designated a member of the team within the IT, or whether it's
Yeah.
websites or whether it's lead generation, that will specifically help you as an agency and help your clients.
Sure. So,
So
basically, if I wasn't incorporating into my business, so I can use this. So this is, for example, Economy Deluxe Ultimate. So these packages, I'll be tasked with to sell to businesses. Yeah, in the
yeah,
nutshell, kind of
yeah,
thing.
basically to anyone, friends, family, network. You can, even though you're designated in your area, this is an international reach business. So when you're traveling or networking, or
Yeah.
you know and I thought it was quite a nice halal type business, because you are helping the next person. Because
Yeah.
as an agency, as you're scaling and learning, your customers are then, they're gaining customers, and
Sure.
before you know it. So normally most customers will either start off on website or telephony or agencies. So these are your agencies.
Yeah.
So we can sell agencies or affiliates.
Mm. So
Mhm.
what's affiliate meaning? So for
Affiliate will sell the service, but they don't have a telephone system or CRM. So they
okay.
normally will use like Google, Gmail for, so you don't get professional ebooks, you don't get a CRM, and you don't get the telephony, but you get a website that looks very, very similar to this for £10 plus VAT a month. So you
Okay.
get a little business in a box model, but just
Mm.
even more affordable. It's £120 plus VAT. So you could, as an agency, end up having your staff as affiliates,
Yeah. Sure.
or
Sure.
that you could set on other agencies or hybrid agencies. So, for example, your inquiry, if you decided to proceed with me, you would pick this economy package, which is 49.99 plus VAT a month.
Mm.
Obviously, it gives you website looking like mine. You're designated in your area, so nobody can take your area while ever you're an agency.
Yeah.
You get your telephone seat, which is your phone line, okay, to start you off. So you can, there's many, many different ways to talk to you about this, but I'm not going to open up too much because it could get your head spinning
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
struggling. But just imagine it is like a digital office phone-based system, but it's a cloud-based VoP system that
Yeah.
allows you to have perimeters where you can set more email users, you can set more phone lines up, you can set more departments up, like a switchboard, with any which way you want to go. And even if you want to have somebody working with you and doing it with you in house, you can do.
Yeah.
And then you can have two call agents. yourself and someone else answering calls, and we've got a template of charges, which you can use our template or have your own charges.
Okay. So, for example, Claire, like say if I was to get one package or whichever package I got, so I'm trying to now, my job on a daily basis is finding businesses to take these services on, right?
Yeah, and then we do lead generation with people probably about 6, 8 weeks later, when we've got you to the position where you've got yourself on board, you're ready, you're set up, and everything like that. Some people have just gone for it because they do come from a customer care service background, so they've gone straight on the phone,
Yeah.
networking, let me
Okay.
send you my information, and obviously open the lines of communication up.
Okay. So if you like you said, if you go for that lead generation, so what does that sort of entail? Like, do you give us leads or do we need to make our own leads with businesses? And,
Do apologise about the noise in the building, but in lead generation, it's paid advertising, but because they're specialised in knowing what works in relation to SEO, keyword, and specific advertising, when they do that, it will generate leads. So we normally say an average of 30 to 60% increase. So some companies will notice that they'll get 2, 3 leads extra a day, sometimes a 10. So the system will then be automated where it is set basically for a form to go through social media,
oh,
and it will grab the information on the back end of the website
okay, okay, okay.
from your
Sure.
form. It will
Okay.
help you set those things up. The beauty of this is it's so scalable. This is probably what you're not establishing straight away from a business model, is that as an agency, you can sell agencies, you can sell VOPs. You can
Mm.
send, so you can sell VOPs to any business that might just need a VOP now in the future because landlines are ceasing to exist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
With
I would say, the VoIP line is just the VoIP line is 49.99 a month, excluding VAT. Is that correct?
VOP starts at 14.99 on its own. So if you just had a VOP system, the telephone here,
Okay. I'll tell you, just a telephone system.
yeah, okay, the starting price is 14.99.
And that's excluded. So say about 18, £19 with VAT, yeah?
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, no, no, because we use currently BT VoIP line.
Yep.
Does that make sense? And we pay £20 a month,
Yep.
£20 or so. So, for example, what would people, because BT is an established, well-known company, what would make people come to like your company for almost the same price?
Well, I'm not going to say whether it's better or worse or anything as a company, but I can say to you that the owner is the designer and developer.
Yeah,
We're on hand to help every single business
yeah,
to get and achieve their goals. So you're not having a company that you've got no contact with anybody, that you never know who it is. The
yeah,
beauty of this system is it's scalable. I'll just show you quickly in the six. This is his system. This is
yeah,
what every client receives.
yeah,
Okay. Basically, you can set perimeters so you can operate calls for the companies. So you will have a new line, new seat. So you wouldn't be able to do that with BT because your line is just with BT,
yeah,
one line vault, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
With
It's an app I've got on my mobile, so I can take calls from anywhere and
yeah,
make.
yeah. Whereas this is a virtual reception service. So
Yeah,
imagine that all these are different businesses. It could be AB Graphic Designs. So as an agency, I would be answering that call of hello, good morning, AB Graphic Designs. How can I help you?
yeah.
Because
Okay.
I'm answering the call. So what the client does, if I was being a call agent and I was selling this service to another business, for example, and you were doing this job, is I would then say to the company, it's 14.99 for your seat plus that a month, and then
Mm.
my packages are 25, 50, 100, 250, 500, and 1,000 calls.
Yeah,
Right, I do it on calls, not minutes.
yeah,
So a client will buy a package depending on whether they have 6 calls a day, 25 calls a day. So
yeah,
most SMEs and medium businesses know roughly how many calls.
yeah.
Now, The savings is time management, staff absences, sicknesses, PAYE. They no longer have to pay that, they're paying you.
Yeah.
It also records the calls.
Okay. Okay.
So from a metric perspective, every single call is recorded. So as a manager or as a company, if they then want to look at that and you're doing metrics every single month on how can we improve our presentations, sales skills, customer care,
Right.
and those
Yeah.
type of things, all these things are built into the system.
Sure.
So it's really, really affordable because it's built and designed by the owner himself. We're
Yeah.
on hand to be able to assist you. And somebody even did say it's very, very affordable from what he's been quoted additionally.
Yeah.
At £300-400 just to get started. So, somebody
Yeah.
can bolt a CRM, bolt a VOP onto their business. Say if they've got an existing website and they say to you, "Yeah, Shakil, I'd like some VOP," and you sign them up $14.99 to start with. But
Oh, this get integrated into the website as well.
we can integrate it in. We can do chat with it, call with it. It's got CRM in it, SMS in it, virtual meetings in it.
Okay.
We
Okay.
we are progressing this dashboard where it will show you the number of seats you've got. So it shows you in here we've got 13 seats, 13 lines. It shows you how many calls are answered, last calls. It's got voice answering. You can upload
Mm.
music to it. You can do queuing in it.
Okay.
If one person is answering the call and they're on the call, and then you've got caller two, virtual or in-house in office, they can answer call two because it will go to the next line.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, I understand because okay, so it's in. This is something potentially like just a VoIP line on its own. I can take from you guys and use it for my business, isn't it?
Yeah, you can
The
use it for your existing and then decide. So, what in essence, you would have your existing number here for your pilgrimages and travels because that might change shape in another direction. Might be
yeah.
just us networking, working with you over the next couple of weeks that you might find that, hey, we can still do our travel agency, but just totally different way.
Okay. Okay. I
And,
see.
so you might have that as one line there, and then you might decide, right, okay, I'll have the second one as the virtual agency.
Yeah.
And then any other business that you work with, you'll just program it. They take the number as well, but then you might be a customer care agent. But additionally, as an agency, you can get extra work from email marketing,
Okay. Is it
taking a
like
lead from call right through to sale.
okay? Okay. And like for other companies, I can take those sort of
And
jobs.
you take the commission because you've bolted that onto the
Oh,
service.
okay. Okay.
You negotiate your rate with the client because not only are you answering a call, but hold on a minute, you can execute them through your CRM or their CRM,
Yeah.
email contact, through lead to even looking after their social media because you'll have experience in social media and SEO lead generation as we've trained you over the course of the weeks, that you'll
Okay.
feel that we train you on websites, we train you on social media, we
Oh,
train you
you
on
do.
things that you have an understanding, and we give you hundreds of pounds worth of digital marketing for free to get you going so that you can create organic interest, get used to digital marketing, what it truly is, how social media works, how it integrates, so that you actually understand the full concept of websites, SEO, and optimization, and
Yeah.
why it's critical,
The,
not just to
that's
build a website, to plan the
yeah.
journey.
Yeah, that's my sort of like in business because my partner, mashallah, he deals with all that side. But in this day and age, everyone needs that. That's my weak point in when it. That's why I'm finding it hard to grasp this whole model. Like in terms of like, what am I selling? How am I making money? Does that make sense? Like,
Well, you imagine one client buys a website, you're earning 30% commission a month per client.
hmm, okay,
If you sell 10 VOPs, you're earning 30% of 10 a month every month.
okay.
That's
If
your
it,
client bank.
Yeah.
Then you're earning from your telephone calls. So you need to do your figures and maths. What I would suggest is maybe you both come and sit in. Maybe we'll do a meeting with Shami this time because he is the owner. He's absolutely lovely. You know, you can sit down and go through that. But that's why I said that you needed this just initial
No,
outline.
no, no. I really appreciate that. It's sorry. Before I forget, one question I wanted to ask. You know the VoIP line. I'll be honest. I don't know if you've had Be Online, who provide a voice.
No, I've not heard of that company, but I'm
Okay.
always
Yeah.
willing
So,
to use
for
it.
example, like say, uh, Be Online, I've used in the past as a VoIP line, and not always for example, the connection's good, great. So so with BT, one thing, mashallah, is like every call it comes through. Obviously, when you're underground or whatever, but generally speaking, the network it's in sync. But with certain other providers, I found like the calls are not coming through because the app's not that robust or something
Well,
like whatever.
we're not running on an app at the moment, but we can do because we have. Right. So
Okay.
ours is a website-based system. So, you know, that will also have some factors because you've got to understand that even from this VOP system, I'm using it on Wi-Fi. 90% of the time, it's absolutely superb. It may
Yeah.
have a dropout, but that's not my fault. That is the provider of the broadband and the line itself.
Yes.
But there also will be improvements going off while they're changing this digital exchange over and cutting the other one off. So,
Okay.
from a reliability perspective, I have found myself from using it, and this is on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, you know, people have said the call quality is excellent, and I have found 90%. If it hasn't, it's normally been a drop in the line itself, not the actual VOP.
Yeah.
So most times, if you're on fibre or broadband, you know, it'll be picture perfect, and obviously, you know, depending on your speeds. But to say I'm using a, you know, multiple pages and a VOP at the same time, you know, you know, it's quite sturdy as an operating feature. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's something to really think about, and that's what you want to look at is, you know, are you wanting just the phone system, which you've clearly already got, or are you wanting something that's going to bolt into your business? And whichever way you go to grow it, you know, you can grow that as a business model. And the reason why I liked this, you know, just to recap and finish off with really for you is if somebody had given me this business model years ago and said, Claire, you can have a business at £49 plus VAT a month,
Yeah.
no overheads, no risk, but it just comes down to you and your hard work and determination. You know, I just snap the hands off it because I know how much it's cost to put businesses together and the time and the effort. So we've got that. But have a look at the website and read some of the things that we were explaining with VOP and some in my Facebook adverts because it really, really does break it down into VOP and the benefits that we've got in our system as well.
Inshallah. No, no, I appreciate it, Claire. Let me speak to my partner. Let me arrange a time when we can, and I'll have a look at the videos and stuff. But just to get started on, we sign up to £50 a month. You do it, you for the however long you provide training and stuff with us as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, basically we have a weekly network group of
Okay.
like meet, greet, introduce. So you and your partner can come in, but it's of people of all levels, all experience. Some have got jobs, some are
Yeah.
doing it part time, some have started doing it full time. You know, so we're all there networking, learning, growing, helping, coming back, regrouping. And the beauty is that the IT development team is there behind and also Shami. So when it comes to something really technical that you don't know what you're doing, we can train you and he can train you so that it's beneficial for you, but also beneficial for your clients. Because then when you see a client that then needs that, because
Yeah.
every business might be different on its setup, you then know how to set that up, but also your client does.
Okay. Okay. I understand. Yes.
It's a fully functioning system that allows you to take it portably anywhere. So technically, you could run your business from another country,
Yeah.
you know, and still be a UK based agency, you know,
No, no.
running alongside what you're doing. You might have a further from this brainstorming session, because that's what I always like to open it up. It's like, walk through the day of the life of virtual agency. Just so you know, my daily life is appointments, Zooms, calls, calling out, outbound, inbound. I do a social media run and check that every few hours in the day.
That's the hybrid model you're on, right?
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, Claire, what's the potential earning like?
Unlimited, because as you're growing, initially it's like anything. You get one client and then one client, but then you might in a month get 10 clients.
Yeah.
You might get 20. These clients, because your agency is growing and you're going to, when I decided to do this through the lockdown, it was really because I couldn't run my spa anymore. My background is financial services and being in spa. I've been in business 25 years, but I couldn't run what I was doing anymore. So I had to change shape. So I thought, if I've got something that's flexible, portable, can do when I want, I can network, I like speaking to clients. If people want to onboard, they can, great. If everyone wants to learn, fabulous. And I'm there just to facilitate that service. I'm a recruiter, trainer, and onboarder, but I also, we came up with this franchise model really because it was clients that were asking me to call, like saying, "Oh, can I just be your business model then, rather than having to think of my own?"
Yeah.
And the beauty is that you get a website, email, CRM, and telephone system that you can.
And you can just start off like that as well, yeah.
You might think of alternative halal options as a phone agent, agency, travel agency, chat operator in some way to do with the Muslim faith and culture. I don't know. It depends. That's for you and your partner to explore, or whether you want to be whole of market. Be a hybrid like ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a case of you either want to do it or you don't.
Yeah.
If you do, it's a case of, right, which model do we go for, which type, and then let's open Pandora's box and let's see where it explores. But have a look at the social media after today. Show your partner and say, let's schedule another time with Claire and Sammy.
Yeah.
Then you can come back with then the specific questions that you've both got.
No, thank you, Claire. Appreciate it.
Technical guy. So if anything is not answered in social media, or from our videos or our trainings that we do online, because that's what we use these for, and these recorded.
Can you kindly send me the links again, please? Sorry.
Yes.
The social. Okay.
I will send you those through in WhatsApp, no problem, and have a look at those. Send them to your partner, and then we can schedule another call in. It's no issue for us, and through any technicalities. It's just, obviously, we can go really, 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 really in depth in this system, and even myself, sometimes I think, right, I have to learn it for each client as well, not just myself.
Yeah, no, of course.
Every business model is slightly different.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, Claire, I really appreciate your time. Thank you. And I'll be in touch. If you send me the links, I'll be in touch this evening or tomorrow, inshallah.
All right, inshallah, take care.
You too, assalamu alaikum.
Right. I'll just make sure I've